are the Detroit Lions, true contenders? Are they the team to beat in the NFC? Are my eyes deceiving me? Is this the team? This team seems, loaded. They seem locked and loaded. They seem ready. And my God, Jared Goff is playing at a high level right
Yeah.
now. Jared Goff is playing at a high level right now. So for me, it's a situation in which um I I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the Detroit Lions. I'm impressed with the Detroit Lions. I'm shocked by what I've seen from them. I'm shocked with how the consistency in which they've been playing with this season. I don't know. I'm starting to believe a little bit in Detroit. I still think that there's a ceiling that they'll go with Jared Goff. I almost called him Sam Darnold. I think this, I think that there's a ceiling that they'll still go with a guy like Jared Goff at the quarterback position. But right now, these guys are playing at a very high level. What are your thoughts, Daniel?
I think that, and a lot of this is I think the Lions are a fascinating team, and I'm very excited to talk about them. And I'm curious, anybody in the comments section, I'm curious what you guys think about the NFC. Is it the Packers? Is it the Vikings? Um, this team has so much damn talent, Malik, and I think that the rushing attack is absurd. I went back and rewatched the game against Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, let me just say this, right? Their defensive line is my favorite. I've raved about them time and time again. I love their defensive line. Jeffrey Simmons, Tavondre Sweat, Arden Key, Harold Landry. This defensive line is legit. They've got serious dudes there. This Lions rushing attack made them look putrid. This Lions rushing attack made them look like dog water at times. And that is a testament to, David Montgomery, who's an absolute beast. He's great on the goal line. Malik, Jahmyr Gibbs might be the best running back in the NFL. And he's not even the starter on his own team, which is fascinating. I think that this Lions team has weapons, and I just applaud them. And I'm going to take some credit right here, or give some credit to the GM of their team, Brad Holmes. And that's what a GM is supposed to do. This is how a GM is supposed to build their team. You're supposed to build through the draft. And I go back, Malik, we talked with them at the Combine 3 years ago, I believe, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. And they said something that has stuck with me time and time again. There are 3 phases to truly building your team. In that moment, they said, we're at phase 2 right now. We're at talent acquisition phase. They said phase 1 was building the culture. They said phase 1 was building the groundwork, setting the groundwork for a new regime. Phase 2 is talent acquisition, right? Talent acquisition is the most important part, they said. And that's what they did, man. They obviously hit on a couple draft picks like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, but they went out and they added some dudes. David Montgomery in free agency was a dude. Jahmyr Gibbs was the pick that everybody was trashing on, including myself at points, saying, hey, why the hell are y'all taking him? He's a game changer. But early in the first round, when you could have taken a defensive line, when you could have taken an offensive line, what the hell are we doing here? Jahmyr Gibbs has turned out to be the best running back from the class. He's better than Bijan Robinson right now. And when you look at how they built the trenches and how they made that a focal point, Malik, somebody we've talked about, DJ Reader, right? Albeit Lions fans are pissed off with him. His stats aren't great. The dude is still a clog in the middle of that defense. He is still taking on double teams, and he has looked older. He has, gotten moved in the rushing game at times. But when you look at what the alternative was, they've just done an amazing job getting elite talent. And then they've hit on their top picks. Penei Sewell is a dominant right tackle. Aiden Hutchinson was a dominant edge rusher, but they're doing it without him right now as well. So this team, I'm a huge fan of it. Credit to Ben Johnson. I think he's done an amazing job. But if you want me to be honest, and I think, once again, he's phenomenal. I think that this is more a credit to what the organization has built than it is to a Ben Johnson scheming up stuff. You look at that game where last week they put up 40-something, 50-something points. That game wasn't won because of Jared Goff. It wasn't won because of Ben Johnson. They had a couple, I think one huge punt return. They had one huge kickoff return. All around, this team is just playing excellent football. And like I said, the real X factor, if we're talking about how they compare against these other teams, really is the weapons on their offense. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think there's no world where Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have a dominant game in the playoffs. I think there's no world where the weapons like an Amon-Ra, like a Sam Laporta, don't have good games. And I think that this team is, and quite frankly, they haven't taken a step back. Last year was the year, and everybody said, right, including myself, damn, how are they going to get back from this? Huge loss in the NFC Championship. That was a gut punch. Dan Campbell, everybody was discussing, hey, is he losing the locker room? He was the reason why they lost that 49ers game, but they're right back in this mix. So, Malik, yes, I think that they're the team to beat in the NFC. The 49ers aren't the team to beat right now. The 49ers have their own issues, right? Injury concerns. Is Brock
Mhm.
Purdy the guy? Serious concerns right now, even, floating around Kyle Shanahan. The Lions are playing like a team on fire, and they are hands down the team to beat in the NFC. Will they make the Super Bowl? I think that remains to be seen. I think the tough part is they face two tough teams in the division, potentially in the playoffs, and the Packers and the Vikings. And I think both teams could seriously give them a run for the money. Mainly you go look at what the Green Bay Packers have. I think Jordan Love and this, Josh Jacobs has looked great. I think that the Packers really have what it takes to push the Lions in the playoffs. But God damn it, right now, this team is the team to beat. They are firing on all cylinders. And the point that I'm excited to see, do they go out and get an edge rusher to cope with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson? Because if they do, that's going to, take them up another notch. So right now, I'm a huge fan of this Lions team, and I just really want to take the time to credit Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's the best running back in the NFL right now, and you would just hope that they really come out and come playoff time, have a game plan and are able to adjust and adapt, especially if they were to go down by a touchdown, by 2 touchdowns, because that is kind of their kryptonite, right? If they go down by a touchdown, they do some weird things, and that's where my one, flaw would be is sometimes I'm not so thrilled about the usage of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery late in games in the third and in the fourth quarter. They kind of go back and forth. They don't really know who they want to go to passing situations. So this Lions team is for real. And it really,
Well, define for real.
I think that they're the best team in the NFC. And
Regular season, right? You're saying?
I think that even playoffs, I think that they showed it last year. And I think my issue, and I guess this would be the discussion, what other team are we confident in beating them in the playoffs?
I really think they caught a break with the Packers. Jordan Love starting the season off a little rusty, obviously with the injury. I think they really did catch a break. I thought the Packers were really hitting their strides. This is a weird year. The Niners have multiple injuries on that offense. So while I agree with the Lions are a very good regular season team right now, I just have a hard time putting Jared Goff's name next to a championship just from what the early returns and what I've seen. You know what I mean? Just have a hard time seeing that. I have a hard time doing that personally. And that again, that could just be me getting in my own head about it, but I just like
I think you're right. And that's what I'm really looking at. I'm looking to see who's the team that's going to knock them off. There is a world where the 49ers come back and are healthy. And
no. I'm the Packers are my team.
Oh, for sure. No, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing. I think that is the team. And the hard part with the Lions take is they're an in-division team. So that game's always going to be close. And quite frankly, who is the better quarterback? It's Jordan Love. And who's got great weapons? Jordan Love's got great weapons too. He's got Wicks. He's got Christian Watson. Josh Jacobs has been playing his ass off. I'm with you. And they're a team where that's the matchup. So I'd be curious to see when they play next in the regular season. But I'm with you. I think the Packers are definitely serious.
Yeah, I just think that when I look at the Lions, one thing I will say that I'm impressed with. I usually don't get too impressed by a lot, but I'm impressed with the fact that they didn't allow the playoff hangover to interrupt what they had going on this season. I think that's the one thing where I'm looking at it because I was worried that maybe their loss in the playoffs might cause them to feel that maybe they reached their ceiling under a Jared Goff at the quarterback position. But when you look at it, here's the upcoming schedules for the Lions, so we don't have to wait too long to see. They've got the Packers
this week.
They've got the Packers on Sunday. They face the Packers on Sunday. And then, Daniel, it don't get any easier. They take on the Houston Texans the week after that, who we'll be talking about here shortly. Obviously, got the Jaguars on tab. Then you got the Colts, who might look a little bit differently with Joe Flacco at the helm. They got the Bears, who we just got done talking about. They face the Packers again. Daniel, guess who they face after the Packers for the second time? No, the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Right. Then they face the Bears again. Then they face the team we just got done talking about, the Niners. And then they face the Vikings. They close out with the Vikings. Their schedule is a little bit more difficult than people give credit for.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen them suit up against the the Packers just yet. For me, they'll be a real telltale. I think this Lions team is a good team. I think this Lions team might be the best team regular season wise in the NFC, but it'll always come down to what does Jarod Goff do when the lights are bright.
Facts.